I believe I have good knife skills, plus I work at a very fast pace while putting out quality food. I believe it's a good asset to my job because basically because you need speed in the kitchen when you're dealing with, especially in a high-paced kitchen and high volume, you need speed and good quality while putting out quality work. Good work at a fast pace is good, I guess. I just feel I'm a natural leader because I always been like a leader because when I was playing football and such, I was a leader. I was a captain on the football team for at least 3 years out of my 4 years of playing, besides my freshman year. In the kitchen, I like to voice my opinion. I like to get the job done. I like to get the job done right and not play around with it. I believe because if you don't communicate right, it's just a whole bunch of confusion, a whole bunch of rattle. Like if the front of the house don't agree with the back of the house, then it's a whole bunch of bickering, a whole bunch of fighting. It's always necessary to have a good, smooth running kitchen. My ideal work environment, the front of the house, the back of the house cooperating, is smooth. You can talk, but not like no playing around in the kitchen, get the job done. Good communication, back of the house running smooth, putting out quality food at a fast pace, at the set amount of time that you're supposed to put the food out. Just a good kitchen. I would say just getting the job in the field while I'm still young, because I've been in the kitchen with a lot of older people upstairs and they haven't been in the kitchen. They had other jobs and just not going back to school with it. It's helped me help them in the kitchen, help other students in the kitchen, because I learned stuff on my job that I haven't learned in the kitchen. It's just more hands-on at work than it is up there. It's taught me a lot of things about the industry. It's like Chef Hagerman has told me, he always told me like the greatest cook is almost, everybody always had the same answer as their grandma or their mother. And they don't know why their food tastes good. They always say put a little bit of this, put a little bit of that, and then they taste this, it's on point. But Chef Hagerman told me going to school helped you know the whys and how you get to that point. Growing up, I was always in the kitchen helping my grandma because she basically helped raise me. I wasn't always there with my mom or my dad. Basically, both sides of my grandma, they helped raise me. And I was always helping them, especially with desserts. I was a sweet tooth kid, so. And then growing up around 4th, 5th grade, I used to always watch Emerill live. And I used to watch that almost every night. And still to today, my aunt, when I call back home to Memphis, Tennessee, my aunt always say, you always used to watch that cooking show every day. And I didn't know why, I just used to like it. And then I was always into football. And I went to school for business management straight out of high school. And I played football. And then I stopped once I had a 2-year-old son. Before like 2 months I left school before he was born. And then I was just sitting around, and then that's when I got into cooking. I was cooking for my baby mama, and it was just something I wanted to do. And then plus my first job was McDonald's. So it helped me get some skills with just knowing in the kitchen, even though it's not, people say McDonald's it teaches you a lot about the industry. Well, in school, in middle school, I always wanted to, I used to draw a lot. I drew my first tattoo. Basically, like I said, I used to draw a lot when I was bored, when I had something to do. I got a whole book full of drawings when I was a kid. And now I don't draw as much as I used to. Basically, I rarely do draw now. Growing up, I wanted to be an architecture, and I used to like science. I wanted to be an architecture, basically. And then once I got in high school, lost focus on architecture. And then as time progressed, went to McDonald's food. Then it's just a comfort from back home from Memphis. We're just growing up in the kitchen and being in the kitchen with your grandma, your mom, my mom at sometimes, and just a comfort for me. And then I just love putting out food and seeing the reaction of people's faces and their smile, just knowing that your food is good. On my left arm, I have Culinary Arts, and in the middle I have Chef X in the middle. It has a steel and a knife that makes the X. I took it off a logo of our culinary bags, Mercy. And and Chef X, Zavion Culinary Arts.
So, if there's ever been anybody that's ever more committed to the culinary arts, that you've got it really tattooed on your arm, you'd be the man for that then. That's how serious you take that, right?
Yes, sir. My two prides, my lifestyle besides my sons. It's my lifestyle because basically I cook every day. Got something to do with it. Even if I go home and cook for my son or cook for somebody else, or just, I guess it's basically cooking every day as a lifestyle. Art because I say, I believe in, I love presentation on the plate. I love putting out pretty plates. I love designing and building things on the plate. Just because when I was growing up, it was just always food on the plate. I never knew that you can do so much things with food and make so much out of it.
That's a wrap.